And we are live! Ascension eSports Dragon League. We're about to get into a game in just a moment. It is gonna be the 5th week of Dragon League, getting into Guardian Angels versus the Super Saiyan 4s. I am Decerux, followed by my co-caster Huppilicious. And how are you doing on this nice evening, Hup?
We are doing great this Friday evening that I could be doing absolutely nothing else except doing color for Ascension eSports. I am excited.
Yeah, absolutely, and we are going to hop right into Champion Select.
I am excited.
A second. Getting ready to transition to that, and here we go. Guardian Angels versus Super Saiyan 4. What do you expect to see out of this draft?
I expect to see a good, solid front line coming out
Their
of Guardian Angels. I've actually casted them a previous week, and they like their tanks. Good, solid. They like having the peel, and they're not afraid to take power picks away from enemy teams, as we saw, I believe it was 2 weeks ago. I cannot remember what they took, but they definitely got the powerhouses and abused the enemy team pretty hard. Go ahead.
Okay, we are going to see a couple of bans lost. There is a new rule that emergency subs will be banned. The loss of bans will be in the first phase of banning. And we do have 3 E-subs on the side of Super Saiyan 4, so that's going to hurt them a bit in this first round of picks and bans.
No, definitely not having your bans leaves just options open for the enemy team to just pick whatever they want. And it's very unfortunate it happens. People can't make it. You know, something comes up, family, life, work. And that's why we got the subs. Like, shout out to all the subs out there.
So yeah, we are seeing the bans come out on the side of Guardian Angels. They are going a little bit more jungle-oriented, the Warwick taken out. And as well as the Udyr seems to be target banning Demon Claw. We do have an updated stream title now for those of you freaking out. We're all good now. We're all set.
The warrior spirit is never
Confirmed. This is Dragon League Ascension eSports. Welcome to the Clown Fiesta.
And interesting to see those bans, specifically just so jungle heavy. Demon Claw, Silver 3 player, does play a lot of Udyr, one of his highest played champions in rank this season with 60 games and a 63% win rate, as well as champions like Xin Zhao and Warwick being up there. But he is a Lee Sin player, he is a Volibear player. He's not completely banned out just yet. Gonna be interesting to see how he adapts to this target banning.
Now, I was looking forward to Icebound Killer taking away that Lee Sin or that Volibear for his side, but instead picking up Urgot.
Yeah, so it seems they just went after those bans. They are his most powerful picks. His Lee Sin and Volibear, a little bit underwhelming in terms of rank play. Those were his 3 strongest picks that were banned out. But this is actually a really good pick right here. Like, it doesn't matter how good or bad you are on Gragas, he's still a useful champion regardless, having all that disruption and the chaos he can bring to a fight straightforward.
Definitely. Especially if you build them right, you can have you can get a lot of damage in, or you can just have a lot of peel for your team, depending on how the game goes for you. But we'll definitely see how it works out with the Gragas pick there.
And the Teemo pick could be a placeholder, could be my nightmare game where I have to cast a Teemo.
Never underestimate the power of the Scout's code.
Soon enough, we'll find out that one. Hopefully, Serious Storm can toss me a little message here or there and let me know.
If we don't get a message, that's when your nightmare starts?
Okay, Urgot is actually Zac, and Teemo is Thresh. And yeah, it was Serious Storm who hit me up with that message.
Darn. Once again, we're not going to see a Teemo being casted in Ascension eSports. Unfortunate. Everyone needs a little Yordle in their life.
That being said, Zac being picked up, one of the most powerful junglers in the current meta, one of the most banned junglers in the current meta. And at some point, he had a 120% ban rate with the double ban system that is currently in ranked. A little bit ridiculous there, but it's a testament to just how powerful the elastic slingshot, the let's bounce, just how much that brings to the table in terms of creative ganks.
And this goes to show with Super Saiyan not having those bans, we see that the Demon Cloth is forced to play something that he's not too comfortable on, whereas the side of blue side, they yeah, sorry, I totally had a brain fart there. I apologize, everybody. Guardian Angels, having the ability to just ban out the enemy jungler and then just be like, you know what, we're just gonna pick Zac. Why? Because we can. You guys couldn't ban it out, so now we're gonna abuse it.
Absolutely. And on another note, the Annie that was picked up is actually a Kalista pick. So they've gone with Kalista in the Annie slot and Thresh in the Teemo slot. So that's their bot lane show now. And it's going to be interesting to see how they work this bot lane. Thresh and Kalista is pretty strong. Getting the Thresh in there makes it much more difficult to escape because not only are you knocked up, you're getting ready for a chain of CC to come out right after that. And considering Thresh and Kalista are both range champions, it can bring so much punishment to the bot lane of Guardian Angels, who do have the Braum, which is a good engager, but is not that good in lane.
No, definitely not. I think the side of Guardian Angels bot lane might actually have a hard time dealing with this. I think we're gonna have to see a good bit of Zac presence bot side this game, at least for the laning phase.
So yeah, we do see possibly another placeholder. That's got to be Kalista, something they already picked, a placeholder for a placeholder. Interesting.
A placeholder, a placeholder for Kalista.
So we are getting out of Champ Select, going to figure out what the issue was. On that note, we did notice on the side of the Super Saiyan 4s, they went with the brand ban, which is, it shows that they're doing their homework because Angel of Night has a ridiculously high win rate on that champion. The last 10 games, in the last, 30 games actually, she has played Brand 9 times and has a 78% win rate. Definitely not something you want to mess with, especially considering her rank right now being Silver 1, Gold 3 in Flex. You don't want to give away a comfort pick that can cause that much damage.
Now we do see Kalista was supposed to be Graves. So Annie's Kalista, Kalista is Graves. And Teemo is Thresh.
So from what I've seen so far, the Kalista, the Thresh, as well as the Graves, I'm kind of liking the comp they're going for. It's very aggressive. It has a lot of pick potential. Super Saiyan 4s look like they want to try and win out the draft, but is it going to be enough in terms of skill?
I don't know. Having that Zac get through with, Zac also having a good bit of disruption and can single-handedly split an enemy team in half or completely move an enemy team out of the way. Is it going to be enough? Are they going to have enough damage, enough poke, enough CC to be able to pick somebody off before Zac just denies it from them?
Yeah, so the picks right now are going to be discussed, and then we're going to get into the actual champion select. They were on the last few picks, so they're just going to talk it out right here. A little bit of an unorthodox way to do it, but trying to save us some time, trying to save everyone some time.
Yeah, but we do see that the bans were all out, and they were in the final picking phase. So this actually is not a bad idea. Them just letting them know this is what our last, this is what our last pick was. We were gonna pick it anyways, and so we can get right into it. I'm still kind of upset that we don't get to see a Teemo, but that's just me.
keep being upset. You can be upset forever as long as I don't have to see that thing. So yeah, lots of things can happen in this matchup so far. We have to note that that out of all the subs they have on the side of Super Saiyan 4s, it does look like they have decent pickups in terms of being able to replace the players that they lost. Suru Storm, definitely no slouch. I've coached this guy before. Really good at jungle. Going to be interesting to see how he plays in the top lane.
Suru, also one of Ascension eSports casters, is actually stepping onto the Rift this week.
Yeah, right now.
Okay. Yep. This match right here.
So yeah, he has been playing a little bit of top. We do notice his last game played was Shen. So a little bit of top in his match history. Nothing too much to really comment on. It looks like it'd actually be pretty easy to ban out, to be honest.
But I'm thinking that that Gragas was supposed to be top. If they picked up Graves, it's going to be a Graves jungle, so I think that's going to be a Suru Storm on the Gragas top lane.
Yeah, that's one of the good things about taking the Gragas is it's just such a flexible pick. And flex picks are just completely underrated when it comes to this game because you can take it and then bait out another pick in another lane if they actually fall for it. You can take something like Karma and they'll believe it's a support and then throw it in mid and counterpick support. You know, it's weird stuff like that you can pull out.
Playtime's over.
Definitely agree with you there.
Yes, sir.
But now we see everyone just kind of banning just to ban so they can get quickly into this pick phase.
I detect the presence of scum.
Yeah, running straight through this. It's going to be a very fast pick and ban phase. We do see the Galio come out. Was called in the earlier verbal champ select, as we'll call it.
We will also be seeing Orianna on Angel of Night. That was also discussed during the verbal champ select as well.
Yeah, Orianna, very potent pick. Angel of Night not having that much success on it. 0-2 in the last 30 games. Decent KDA, but thing is, like, you don't even need to do that well on Orianna. You just need to land that one critical shockwave, and that's usually what it takes to win out a team fight if you can get a clutch shockwave.
I mean, just throw the ball on the Zac and Hail Mary pass it.
That's assuming you don't break the tether range.
Yeah, this is true. They're going to have to play this very carefully, but I don't know. I got to go between a Galio and a Zac. You know, that's what I was talking about earlier. They like their front line, and that's a pretty solid front line. Two, quote-unquote, broken champions right now as their front line, both of them getting through the ban phase.
I shall endure.
That being said, you have to feel a little bit worried about Angel of Night. Having the Malzahar is one of the easiest, hey, I'm level 6, please gank this lane, type champions you can really grab. Nethergrass is huge, does a lot of damage, holds down for a lot of skill shots, and then you have a high damage jungler like Graves that comes in to gank during the Nethergrass, and that's pretty much it. It could be a dead Angel of Night quite quickly.
And I think that's why we see the Barrier picked up rather than the Ignite. Barrier definitely probably want to go take against the Malzahar, especially if you're not, you know, 150% on a champion that you're playing.
Yeah, so now, based on team composition alone, Huppilicious, who do you think is going to win this one?
Well, Guardian Angels, they have the consistent players. These guys have been playing together for, you know, basically since the start of the season. They're very, you know, coordinated. Seen them a couple times on the Rift already this season, and they hold their own. But I don't know. Super Saiyan is just a badass name. And honestly, I like their picks. I like what they're going to try to do. I think we're going to see some really cool plays coming out of this match, mainly from Super Saiyan 4. But I'm actually kind of torn between right now. I think I got to give it to Guardian Angels. It's going to be my bet on this. What about you, Decerux? What do you think?
For this game, you can see where the draft has gone for. Super Saiyan 4, they're straight up drafted to win the lane. The Malzahar, the Callista, the Thresh, they're going to stomp their lanes. Meanwhile, Gragas does have some percentage health damage that he can do. Could win out a lane against Galio. That being said, Galio is incredibly strong. And then you have the high damage burst of Graves. It's something that's outright to just win the lanes. But if you look on the side of Guardian Angels, they're looking to win the team fights. They have the Braum, they have the Zac, they have the Galio. That's all major team fight disruption, along with the team fight ultimate of the Shockwave. And on top of it all, the Curtain Call, just to create that zone potential, slow down people, assassinate them as they try and run out, can make for big things. But on that note, I am going to go for the Super Saiyan 4s because I believe if they can win this out early, they can avoid that terrible team fight that Guardian Angels have prepped.
I definitely agree with that. We're really going to have to see how this plays out, which team is going to outplay the other. Can Guardian Angel get to that team fighting time frame, or is Super Saiyan going to be able to shut them down early in lane phases?
Yeah, I mean, this is
exciting.
This is definitely a tense matchup because if we look at the standings overall, Super Saiyan 4s have only lost one game. They're doing well in the season so far. Guardian Angels, on the other hand, undefeated. They've beat off a lot of teams, and, well, 4 teams. I'm saying a lot like if they've been playing this forever now. But they've done really well for themselves. Guardian Angels beating out T7. They've beat out the Metamorphic House Hobbits. They've beat out Team 9, and overall, they're doing pretty well for themselves. The big matches we've been waiting to see has been Super Saiyan 4s versus Guardian Angels, and another matchup we're waiting to see. See if that happened recently. No, it did not. Another matchup we're waiting to see is Fifth Harmony versus Guardian Angels. We want to find out if one of these second place teams can actually take them out. And we do have one of them now looking to get into it, and that is Super Saiyan 4. Will Guardian Angels be dethroned, or will they stand high where they are right now?
Very good question. I'm looking forward to this matchup.
Yeah, so spectator delay is over, which means we are about to get into the loading screen. Gonna take a look at those keystones on the side of both teams as the loading screen starts up. And really, I can't imagine there being any major differences in keystones as to what is normally picked on pretty much every one of these champions. The one thing I do like looking at is the keystone of a Graves. Because lately I've been seeing some Graves, you know, some go for the Thunderlord, some go for... Oh, I can't remember the name of it.
Fervor?
No.
No. Warlords?
Nope.
No, not Warlords.
Move really fast after bursting.
Oh, the Spirit Walker's Grace? Is that what it's called?
What?
I don't
that's
know.
the support one.
No, that's Wind Speakers.
Storm Raiders. Thank you, Miji.
Storm Raiders. There we go.
Yeah, I've seen some go with the Storm Raider setup. I've seen some go with the Thunderlord setup. And it is the Thunderlord's Graves, which I do prefer quite a bit. It does add to the burst damage potential of Graves, which already is a very bursty champion. So we are getting into game right now. Load screen is done. Guardian Angels versus Super Saiyan 4. Who's going to win it? We're going to find out right now once we get past the black screen and once we get into the action. Let us know in chat who you think is going to win. already. We're having our openers come out. We do see the Doran's Blade start on the side of Gloryhound, as well as Riven in the jungle, playing Kalista in the bot lane. Or not. Hit the undo button. That's going to be a Doran shield start on the Kalista. That one I got to disagree with, though. I mean, you're up against a Braum support. Jhin can do a bit of damage, but if he goes up specifically against two people, that being the Kalista and the Thresh, you can usually out-trade that, and I would much prefer to either see a longsword or the Doran's Blade start on Riven in the jungle.
Definitely agree with you there, especially with Jhin, you know, only really having those 4 shots. You can easily get that back by just turning onto the minion wave with the Doran's Blade and basically getting it all back, especially very early on. The Angel of Night being a bully to Cranked there in the mid lane.
But that's not just bullying, that's a tell right there. You know that Demon Cloth is starting at his rafters because Cranked was just waiting right there, right in the open. So a lot of information given by just that little bit of harassment done by Angel of Night. Yeah, and even with that little peek from Icebound, 100% sure they're starting Raptors. Get that ward on the red buff. Try and track down Demon Cloth as much as possible. On that note, this is looking pretty interesting. Demon Cloth is going for the invade on the blue. Very interesting route there. He knows that his red buff is warded, and with the push in coming from Suru, who pushed early, rotating towards that blue buff, that's pretty good teamwork to come out of the team. We do see that Icebound is pretty suspicious of this move and going to spot it out. Is he going to be able to stop it, though? It's getting critically low. That's blue buff going down with the smite now. Icebound is caught out, but it's going to be evened up as Angel of Night able to get in, but it's far too late as we do see Icebound go down. Now Angel of Night trying to take down Demon Cloth, uses the smite to get some health back, flashing over the wall, still trying to get Demon Cloth, but is now critically low. The Bloblets come out. Suru Storm's getting low as well, but Cranked is here. Angel of Night not looking too well. Teleport does save out Angel of Ninja.
And we do see first blood going to Suru. Picking up the kill on Icebound Killer there. That's going to be kind of unfortunate for Icebound with Gragas having that little bit of a lead.
And it was a pretty good rotation. I mean, they pretty much countered the information that Guardian Angel was able to gather with that early map movement, that early ward. And considering the path that Angel of Ninja took, it was open season on the blue buff, and they knew they were only going to get retaliation from one member early, and they took out that member quite quickly.
Yes, they did. Very well played for Super Saiyan 4.
So now the question is, can these type of technical macro plays still continue? Overall, it was intelligent out of Demon Cloth, and one of the big things you need to do is track where the Zac is clearing, what camps he's going after, because it's so easy for Zac to get a creative gank route. And here comes one right now, going after Cranked for the win. It's actually for the loss as he drops in the mid lane, 1-1 apiece. And a great death sentence onto Glory. Pulls him in as well, the play, but he's stunned up. He's critically low. Will the heal go out? He's gonna drop to the fourth shot. Riven in the jungle trying to take out Gloryhound. Still has the heal up, still has the flash up, but he's in so many minions. Doesn't even manage to get the kill. That's a double kill picked up in the bot lane by Gloryhound. Now Angel of Ninja deep into a place where he does not want to be. Actually really wants to be there because Demon Cloth is caught out by 4 members of the Guardian Angels, and it's looking really good for them early.
We see now that there are 4 kills on the side of Guardian Angel, and they're going to look to pick up this dragon right here. With Graves being dead, there's going to be no contest for this.
Yeah, absolutely. And so many questionable moves to come out from the Super Saiyan 4s. Darkblade has exhaust up, never used it. There was also the heal up. Riven in the jungle could have used it earlier to possibly save Darkblade. In conjunction with the exhaust, they would have won that matchup quite easily. We saw how low Glory Hound got, and he popped his flash to get close enough to Darkblade to do that 4th shot. So many mistakes coming out right there from the Super Saiyan 4s. Let's see if they can recover from it.
And we'll definitely see, but as you said before, they are going up against the undefeated team of Ascension eSports right now. And I will say this about the Guardian Angels, should have mentioned it before. We saw them immediately after that, that battle there in the river. They turned instantly and went and got the dragon. And that's one thing about Guardian Angels I've noticed this season so far, is huge objective control. Just always on the dragons, on the barons, any chance that they got to get that little bit of extra advantage that's going to really pile up later in the game.
That being said, it is an Infernal Drake, not one of the best drakes to get early. Definitely scales much better later. So they're not going to really feel the effects. One of my favorite drakes, I say time and time again, is the Mountain Drake. It's both effective in the early game and the late game. So it's not too much lost out just yet, but as this gets in the late game, it's only going to look better and better for the Guardian Angels. With this deficit, though, it's only a 1k gold lead, so it really is not the end of the world for them.
No, it's really not. They can definitely come back for this. They just got to play it a little bit better, a little bit safer. Go in when to go in. If there's a teammate that's going to get caught out.
Like one's caught out right now, and his name is Demon Cloth. Gets the chilling smite, trying to run away, is slowed down, walks into the queue of Galio, and he's able to be saved by Suru Storm just barely with a smidge of health left. Another thing I have to point out, it's a little bit late, but we were talking about it earlier. The Doran's Shield start on Riven in the jungle. If that was a Doran's Blade, that would have easily been a kill on the Glory Hound.
Yes, that would have been having that little bit extra damage and lifesteal for the Stain. Would have definitely been able to pick that up, but as we saw, Glory Hound barely had a sliver of health left.
I mean, it's not even the lifesteal sustain, it's all about the damage. That little attack damage adding up over those multiple autos, that is what was needed for Riven the jungle to win that exchange, but instead, misuse of the summoners, really awkward starting item, looks bad for the spot lane early.
It really does. We were talking earlier about how we thought this Thresh and Kalista were just going to bully and abuse this Jhin and Braum, but we're not seeing that. We actually see the Jhin and the Braum almost having fun against this Thresh and Kalista.
And that's a point-blank curtain call going off. 4th bullet is primed and ready, but does not land on the hesitation. Now, one thing in the top lane I would like to point out is Suru Storm's, the way he's going with maxing his abilities, I do not agree with whatsoever right now. He's going against Galio. Galio's outright a tank. If you look, he's going for the body slam max. He should go for the drunken rage match, as that is a tank. You want to get that max health damage, and that's what Gragas is great at if you itemize, if you build your skills towards it.
Definitely agree with you on that, but maybe he's got a plan for it. Who knows?
I'm just going to outright say it's probably cookie cutter for him at this point. Probably like, this is what I've always maxed. I'm not changing my plans.
No plans within plans.
Now, so far, the game not too far out of reach for the Super Saiyan 4s. And we do notice they are trying to establish vision, but with the control that Guardian Angels have, they are getting it a little bit better. They do have a few, they only have 2 deep wards so far. And that's one of the big things. Vision will definitely win games. It's something so critical that a lot of Dragon League teams need to work on.
Yes, definitely the knowledge of where the enemy team is at, where the enemy jungler's at. It's critical to whether you can push a lane, play it safe. You can normally tell which way he's going, where he's going to be, if you have the vision. Knowledge is power.
And so far, Suru Storm, a tough matchup in this top lane. Despite having a kill up on Icebound. And of course, a lot of that attributes to the base damage that Galio does get, but a lot of it also contributes to the skill order. You're not doing the maximum amount of damage you can in these exchanges because you went for the E max without doing the W max. So, not too much action going off on the map right now. We see a lot of vision established on the side of Super Saiyan 4, as well as another Infernal up. And this is where it starts to get scary. Super Saiyan 4 needs to start picking up those Infernals because there's already one on the side of Guardian Angel. And as I said earlier, it really does scale in the late game, not so effective early game. But if you start adding up those percentages early, then you start to see a big difference, as well as the hyper scaling in the late game. There we go, Curtain Call opening up Darkblade Wolf, looking to take as many shots as he can to keep his ADC safe. 4th shot goes out, doesn't really get much. And here's the suppression. Crank looking to get onto Angel of Night. We do see the heroic entrance come in. Let's Bounce used, but completely whiffs. Now Angel of Night still after Crank, but Crank's doing a pretty good job. Gets some Malefic Visions on. Almost picks him off with the shield, able to keep him alive for now. Meanwhile, Rift Herald picked up on the side of Demon Cloth.
A lot of resources dedicated to try to picking up that kill on Malzahar. Fortunately, absolutely nothing came out of it, and Super Saiyan getting that Rift Herald and putting it in the top lane. Getting that tower down is going to be pretty helpful, especially with allowing that Gragas to roam around as he pleases.
I don't like that decision that's coming out from the Guardian Angels. They are dedicating towards this dragon, but they're also giving up so much in terms of tower control with the Rift Herald being top lane. They are going to try and get Angel of Night to prevent this tower damage, but at this rate, this could be Angel of Night's death. Out goes the explosive cast. Shockwave is huge. It actually picks off Demon Cloth, but Suru Storm able to get the revenge kill. They do get the Infernal Drake as well, but the push continues in the top lane.
Suru Storm definitely making a nice little lane for himself there in the top lane. We do see the teleport coming out for Icebound.
And Suru Storm getting punished greatly. Able to slow down Icebound. Should be able to get out of this with the body slam max, as well as the slows from the cask. Still though, Icebound on the hunt. Really wants to get this kill. Has a little bit of the fast track. Still, once again, slowed, and slowed again. Here comes the taunt. Will Icebound be able to get it? Meanwhile, in the bot lane, we do see some action going out. Suru Storm able to flash out and survive. Darkblade Wolf almost dropping. Gets the ultimate. The Fate's Call from Riven in the jungle to survive as well.
You can definitely just tell how both teams are on the edge right now. Like we see a lot of interesting plays coming out. Like Suru almost getting picked off there, still able to get away, but having to burn the flash. He could have probably gotten out earlier.
And this is so ambitious from Guardian Angels. We see Glory Hound running for it. He needs to let off that 4th shot for the movement speed, but it won't be enough regardless as Demon Claw takes him down. So now we do see the gold swing advantage of the Super Saiyan 4s. They are ahead in the tower game as well. They're going to continue looking to push that advantage as they set up the siege this bot tower. Meanwhile, on the top tower, Icebound Killer looking to get some damage onto the top tower of the Super Saiyan 4s. But Storm headed up there right now, looking to put that to an end. Here we go. Angel of Ninja trying to disrupt as much as possible. Gonna use the Let's Bounce. Actually stops it from going off. Gets exploded into boblets from the collateral damage. And now look at this. Demon Cloth wants to try and pick off Angel of Ninja. Unable to get it. That's gonna be a kill. Picked up by Angel of Night due to that over-aggression. So on that note, this is going to be a solo cast now. There was a family emergency on the side of Huppilicious, and we do hope him well, so I will be your caster of the day. Staying in this matchup. And there we go, Shockwave being used by Crank, but is returned as Crank uses some Olympic Visions. And the Nether Grass gets picked off by Angel of Ninja. Meanwhile, the bot tower goes down. Nothing else gonna come of it, but still, that evens up the towers. Still gold, almost dead, even slightly in favor of the Super Saiyan 4s. So yeah, now this game's still continuing. Gold's still fairly even. And oh my goodness, that bouncing grenade ramping up the damage with the minion kills and absolutely obliterating Demon Claw's health bar. So now with the gold so even, we are getting a pretty good matchup. The question is, can the Super Saiyan 4s actually do it and take out the undefeated streak of Guardian Angels? They are on the right track right now, but as this gets later and later towards that late game, we're gonna see those power spikes come out from the Guardian Angels, as they do have a composition that thrives in late game team fights. Now we see a 4-man rotation coming in. Will Crank look for the Nether Grass? Does not find it just yet. There's a lot of wars on the side of the Guardian Angels, spotting out these movements coming out from the Super Saiyan 4s. That being said, Angel Ninja going after Suru Storm, as well as the heroic entrance, knocking up Suru Storm, but here comes back up in the form of Demon Cloth, looking to try and bring the pain to Angel of Ninja, who doesn't have the passive anymore. If they could do one more auto, and that's gonna be it for Angel of Ninja. And a disastrous trade for the Guardian Angels. And a great turnaround, great map movements to come out from Demon Claw. So now how are they gonna take advantage of the situation they have right now? They do have the jungler down. Baron does not spawn for another minute. Would be risky regardless, too many low health bars. But they're looking to set up for the siege. This tower is quite low from the Rift Herald that came earlier. Will Suru Storm go for it? Shockwave goes out, almost kills Demon Cloth. Demon Cloth managing to stay alive. The flash and the body slam are up on the side of Suru Storm. The question is he going to go for it? Gets hit by the Braum shield. 3 more autos would result in a stun, but that's not going to happen. Icebound Killer taking a couple of autos to the face. Angel of Night over the wall, looking to get a lot of punishment in, and the root onto Darkblade. Darkblade getting critically low, but here comes Suru Storm, instantly knocked up. But now deaths left and right. Curtain Call is open, and that's going to be the end of Suru Storm. Manages to barely survive, but a great turnaround coming out from the Guardian Angels. And now Cranked, looking to start up Dragon alongside Demon Claw. The teleport is coming out. they have to pretty much dedicate to it at this point. It is way too low. Who's going to get the kill? It's gonna be the Angel of Ninja as they go after Demon Cloth, looking to use the collateral damage to get some room, looking to try and get out of there. Great silence comes out of Crank, keeps Demon Cloth alive, and almost disaster. They did lose one thing for it. Will they lose much else? Crank looking to fight it out with Icebound Killer, but not going to get too much just yet. Still, low mana bar means you should probably back off this one. And now Icebound Killer, you've stayed for way too long and you're way too deep. We're gonna see the Ren come out, and that's the end of Icebound Killer. Kill picked up, the first one of the game for Riven in the jungle. And overall, it's been a really back and forth slugfest. We do see the tempo control starting to fall in favor of the Guardian Angels. Darkblade looking to try and put an end to that as he goes after Glory Hound. Will he get the death sentence? Whiffs it. Good steps to come out from Glory Hound. Able to survive. Riven in the jungle, trying to get some damage off, but you gotta be careful about that fourth shot. And here comes Angel of Ninja looking to use the Let's Bounce. Catches Darkblade. Darkblade able to use a great wall, able to use a great play. And this fight's completely gonna turn around as Diamond Zombie drops. Now they're going after Glory Hound. Glory Hound will have that fourth shot soon and gets killed by Angel of Ninja. And now there is another grasp being used onto Glory Hound. Glory Hound falls, and next is going to be Angel of Ninja. Double kill picked up before going down. But overall, pretty good win. Looking to get that shockwave. Gets it! Gets the kill! Angel of Night is saved by the heroic entrance of the Icebound Killer. Looking to get on Crank for the win. Crank gets some Malefic Visions onto Angel of Night. Angel of Night able to survive using the shield that Orianna naturally has. And overall, what a back and forth slugfest this match is turning out to be. So far, once again, the gold still pretty dead even. The towers dead even. But the main thing to point out about this, that is triple Infernals on the side of Guardian Angels. And they just, that's going to get scary in the late game. They have a late game team fight composition. Pair that with 3 Infernals and you have disaster waiting to happen for the Super Saiyan 4s. Meanwhile, a little bit of a skirmish breaking out. Shouldn't be too worried. Or should he? There is a tower right there, able to keep him safe for now. Now, it does look like they're posturing up for this tower. That's something they really don't want to do, though. I mean, I've talked about it too many times. The team fight is only going to get harder and harder for Super Saiyan 4 as the scaling comes out from the Guardian Angels. Current Call goes out, doesn't really get much. And now the siege onto the tower without minions. Icebound gets cooked, doesn't choose to follow up the death sentence as 4 members were there with a 5th around the corner. Wise things to do, but this tower looks like it's going to fall. The siege successful for the Guardian Angels. And we might have Baron pings coming out here. We do see the rotation coming out towards the Baron, but question mark pings coming out onto Glory Hound. It appears he doesn't want to follow up with his team. And here we go, Angel of Night going on to Suru Storm. Suru Storm should be able to survive quite easily. He's actually looking to turn it around, which is a little bit questionable. Knocks Angel of Night over the wall with him. Suru Storm gets to the tower, and now Demon Cloth is here. Demon Cloth wants a huge piece of Icebound Killer, but look who's here. It's Angel of Night. Shockwave goes down, but it whips! And now Demon Cloth able to take down Icebound Killer, that is. Now Darkblade Wolf is here. Here comes the wall. Here comes the death sentence. Exactly just for Angel of Night. And that is 3 down on the side of Guardian Angels, putting them in the gold lead, putting them in the kill lead, and putting them in prime position to do Baron if they so please. And now, got to question decision-making from the Super Saiyan 4s. They did get a great team fight, but they're not doing as much as they can with it. It does look like they're posturing up for towers. They make me eat my words a little bit. They are going to get 2 towers out of this, so it is a pretty good win. Felt like they should have gone for the Baron for that one. Sadly enough, no Baron pickup. Diamond Zombie might be getting a little bit too feisty, but the death sentence does whiff. That is 2 towers picked up, putting this to 2-3 in favor of the Super Saiyan 4s. So, at this point, it's starting to look like Guardian Angel's game to lose. They have everything working for them. They have the composition. They have the triple Infernals, but they're just not playing it out right. We're seeing a lot of catches, a lot of disaster. Icebound looking to get on the crank, not going to happen. The big thing is it doesn't feel like the Let's Bounce is being utilized properly. I've seen way too many Let's Bounces that just grab nothing. Absolutely results in nothing. That being said, it's not like Angel of Ninja's playing badly. It just looks like he doesn't really know how to utilize that ult properly. We're going to see how this plays out. This is going to be the 4th Dragon. There absolutely needs to be a response. And with teleport up on Storm, you have to see him use that teleport to get there, because you can't let this get to 4 Dragons, because that could just be absolute disaster once we get to the point where Elder Drake comes up. If the Guardian Angels are able to pick up Elder Drake, we do see the last slingshot is getting primed and used, as well as the curtain call. Bullets are going out. Bullets are flying everywhere. They're going after this Drake. They're committing to it. Will he get the steal? Great steal to come out of Demon Claws. And there is the Glacial Fisher used by Diamond Zombie. The fight's still on. Let's Bounce grabs Riven in the jungle, able to flash out and get to safety still. Darkblade able to pick up the Orianna, gets a great kill. The fight's on, going left and right. Bodies are flying. A double kill picked up by Demon Claws. He's critically low, but a great use of the Lock of the Iron. Solari doesn't keep him alive, lets him get in a lot more damage. Still Icebound, still caught in, still very deep. They're going after a little bit of everyone here. Icebound's gonna fall to Cranked, and a great win to come out on the side of Super Saiyan Force as they look to pick up the ace onto the Zac, and looking to pick up some turrets after that. Bloblets go out. And yeah, that's gonna be it right there. The ace, only losing 2 for that ace. Dude, not recall, Darkblade. You got some towers to take, my friend. As they look to have open season on this mid lane tower. And once again, you really have to question the team fighting that's coming out from the Guardian Angels. They're not playing the composition right. Angel of Night was flashed on. Demon Claw went in there and went to town on Angel of Night. Like, those sort of things shouldn't be happening, especially when you have 3 takes that are excellent at disengaging. So now, can Guardian Angels start playing their composition right? Because if you look at the gold lead, we're at about 3K deficit against Guardian Angels. And at this point, you know, it really shouldn't matter that much. When you have triple Infernals, you shouldn't really be seeing that much disaster, even at the gold deficit they have. And here comes the current call, Storm. Gonna jump out of it pretty easily. Here come the autos. Possible stun on the Storm doesn't happen, but he is really cornered right now. Storm's gonna jump over the wall, gets caught out, knocked up regardless of the flash. Haven't used the explosive cast, but look at that commitment they did, sending so many resources to the bot lane. It's gonna result in a Baron call, and a great Baron call for the Super Saiyan 4s as they get to base in a timely manner. And a flash comes out from Angel of Night. Why, though? You have to question why the flash. You know those recalls are Baron empowered. There's no reason to get that aggressive on it. So now 5K gold lead, caught out is Icebound Killer. He is going to be able to get away most likely. Yes, does get away. No use of the wall. They aren't using the ultimate on him. And I could totally respect that, but at the same time, I feel like if he's caught out alone, Why not just go all out? But at this rate, it's better to play it safe. They have to respect the team fight that Guardian Angels still have. They are still a threat, especially if that Shockwave comes in clutch. But the tempo that Super Saiyan 4 have is seriously immense. And look at that damage to come out. Getting a pretty good chunk out of Riven in the jungle. And oh my goodness, that double crit build with the rapid fire cannon, with the static shiv, with the infinity edge, chunked out so much health on Demon's. And that's a really popular build that's been going around. Not just for Jhin, but for like all ADCs. We've been seeing infinity edges built into double crit items, whether it be like rapid fire cannon into Phantom Dancer, or even the double energize items like you see here on the side of Glory Hound. Going for the static shiv, going for the rapid fire cannon. And on that note, just noticed Demon Cloth doesn't have boots. He's not a very fast gunman. And a lot of pressure coming out from the side of Storm. But this is the questionable move right here. You're doing this pressure without having your teammates pressure other sides of the map. And he can be caught out quite easily here. We do see the rotations, 3 members going towards Storm. Storm has to start running, is able to dodge out, gets hit by the shockwave. Storm caught out, gets stunned up, uses the explosive cast, and it looks like he might be able to get away, but the Glacial Fissure knocks him up, lands pretty clutch, but that's still 3 members over there. That's 3 members dedicated to that, which means towers are going to fall elsewhere. They're still dedicating to it, but a great taunt comes out, and the curtain call is open up as it looks to get Riven in the jungle, able to get out, able to survive. Storm still alive. This man is absolutely mad as he's trying to get on Angel of Night, able to get a shield, but it's not going to be enough. Storm finally goes down. Meanwhile, Riven in the jungle looking to take down Icebound Killer, and he's able to kill him, but with the Nexus, not the Nexus, the inhibitor exposed. 3 members sent for Storm, a tank for that matter of fact. They are giving up so much. So the main thing here is Guardian Angels. We talked about it. Super Saiyan 4 went for a composition that was looking to outright win the lane. And we've hit the point where Guardian Angels composition should start shining. But it almost feels like Guardian Angels just don't know their win objective. They don't know their win condition, as they're not playing towards it whatsoever. Meanwhile, Super Saiyan 4, they're taking these scrappy fights. They have these champions that excel at these scrappy fights. And what do you know? They're winning fights because of it. So now there's going to be a lot of pressure on, as we do see the mid inhib is down, and the only thing that stands is 4 more towers before this game can just be an outright shutout. Guardian Angels looking to take their first loss. Not sure if it's of the season. I'll have to double check on that. But definitely not of the series. See, Guardian Angels have gone... No, Guardian Angels have lost before. Okay. Corrected myself. They just haven't lost a series. That's the correct way to put it. So once again, Storm is caught out. But we've seen this happen before. And we saw some pretty bad things happen. And on that note, there's not that much vision. Angel of Night can turn this around. This could be a pretty good fight for the Guardian Angels as a great Let's Bounce gets Darkblade Wolf in the middle of no man's land. Is he going to fall? He should fall, but the lock into the Iron Solari able to keep him alive for a little bit longer. Finally falls Angel of Night, and then we see the Shockwave land onto Riven in the jungle. A double kill picked up by the Zac. It's going to be 3 as we see a triple kill picked up by Angel of Ninja, and finally they're playing to their win condition. Still Demon Cloth looking to try and skirmish this out a little bit more, but overall, great win for Guardian Angels. Very, very desperately needed, but if you look at the base, minions are going deep into the base right now. Demon Claw trying to do as much distraction as he can, trying to get some punishment in. Is he going to be able to stop them from getting to the base, trying to really hurt these Nexus towers? And we see already more than half of the health of that Nexus tower has fallen. And a kill onto Demon Claw. Demon Claw getting a little bit too excited there. We finally saw it happen. Guardian Angels played their team composition like they should, and they had great results out of it. It was a skirmishy fight, a great use of the Let's Bounce, caught out Darkblade, they caught out Riven in the jungle, and they even caught out Demon Cloth and Subaru Storm. So far, that's one good use of their team composition, but can they keep it up? That is the question now. They have proven they have fighting them despite the goal deficit. They do see a possible engage onto Crank for the win. He doesn't have any summoners. Trying to use the Nether Grass. It's not going to be enough. Or is it? Look how low Glory Hound is getting. Explosive Cast goes out and it destroys Glory Hound. Now Suicide trying to stay alive. The Shockwave whips hard, but a great use of the taunt coming out of Icebound Killer. They are deep into this fight. Angel of Night is getting picked off by Riven in the jungle. Unable to get the kill. Angel Ninja going after Riven in the jungle, but great kiting out of Riven in the jungle. This fight is looking to go for the Super Saiyan Force as they get the Blobless out of the sack. They're looking to try and get more. Is he going to survive? Angel of Ninja gets critically low. Demon Claw shuts him down, and a great body slap to come out of Angel of Night, to come onto Angel of Night from Subaru Storm. Subaru Storm continuing the chase. They're looking to get Diamond Zombie. Diamond Zombie has so many of those spears inside of him. That red is gonna be huge, and it is. One more death sentence goes out. They don't even need a collateral damage. Destroys Angel of Night. And that could possibly be the game. We'll see if Glory Hound can defend this. There we see curtains are open. They're choosing not to advance on this. They're choosing to go for the Baron. They're going to take the safer route.
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
So, yeah, so far, crazy fights to go back and forth. They tried to engage onto Crank. They picked him up, but one of the key things about that last fight was the Shockwave whip. They tried to use the Shockwave only on Subaru Storm, and once you don't have that Shockwave, attempted steal coming out of Glory Hound. Whiffs. Gratefully for the Super Saiyan 4s. Once you don't have that Shockwave, you lose so much teamfight presence, and it really showed in that fight. No Shockwave, Riven in the jungle, hopped around, did what he wanted. Icebound Killer did pretty good things in that fight, but it wasn't enough to compensate for the lack of ultimates that were blown pretty much prematurely on the side of Guardian Angels. So now, once again, Baron is on the Super Saiyan 4s. We're going to see how they utilize it. Really, with Super Storm having teleport, you should see the 1-4 push start to come out. We do see that Dragon is spawning very soon. That is going to be Elder Drake. It is hard to contest Elder Drake because despite having the Baron buff, Baron really only helps you for those great pushes, for those sieges, and you need to get pressure all over the map to really open up use that Elder. And here we go. Will we see the Let's Bounce come out? Demon Cloth a little bit caught out, but not really that much caught out. Able to take the Lantern to safety. On that note, this is the smart thing for the Super Saiyan 4s to do. They're going to let those waves push in and just let those minions do work. Let Subaru Storm do work. And then set up to position for the Elder Drake. It's something that they really need off the map because that could just do so much havoc if Guardian Angels get it. But instead, they're looking to just go for a straight-out push. And they are going to siege onto this tower. This could be pretty dangerous. Glacial Fissure goes out. Will we see the Shockwave come next? Shockwave lands on the Crate for the win. Crate for the win, able to flash out. And still, now left all alone is Icebound Killer. Here comes the Let's Bounce it. It's a big one. And down goes Crate for the win. They're looking at Angel Knight. They pick him up. Zero Storm falls critically low. Heroic entrance, knocking up only 2 members, but Riven in the jungle is left unchecked, getting off so much damage. Riven in the jungle, tearing up this game, and he's gonna take it in favor of the Super Saiyan 4s at 40 minutes. What a slugfest we had. Yeah, what an intense matchup. Riven in the jungle came up huge in that one. Unchecked, absolutely unchecked. And you see Glory Hound trying to get something done, but look at all those minions. It's not gonna happen. 40 minutes into the game, Super Saiyan 4s take game 1. And oh my goodness, what an intense matchup. That was pretty crazy. It was almost a good start. They got the Shockwave on to Cranked for the win. But after that, it was just Riven in the jungle doing whatever he wanted in that last fight. And we are going to take a look at the damage charts. Unfortunately, we don't have an overlay for that, so I'm going to leave you a little bit hanging. Most damage, 35k on the side of Demon Cloth. And he really played that Graves exactly how he should play it. And that was this burst damage, gritty brawler skirmisher that just goes in and tries to let out as much chaos as he can. Meanwhile, on the side of the Guardian Angels, the most damage, 34k in favor of Glory Hound. Glory Hound did do a lot, but it wasn't enough, really. The team composition, the win objective looked clean cut for the Guardian Angels, but Super Saiyan 4s, they fought these fights. They did these dirty skirmishes, and they beat out Guardian Angels with it. That being said, this is only game 1 in a best of 3. So Guardian Angels can damn well come back, especially given that they have priority on a lot of these picks and bans, given how many emergency subs the Super Saiyan 4s have. So we're going to get into that game 2 match point for Super Saiyan 4s. Can they take it and give Guardian Angels their first loss of the season in terms of series? That's the second loss in terms of games played. We're going to find out soon enough once we return. Stay tuned.